SsangYong Rexton SUV is the answer to a very specific set of requirements. It's a highly capable 7-seat off-roader and can tow very heavy loads, but doesn't appeal as a road car in the same way as its main rivals such as the Hyundai Santa Fe, Kia Sorento or Jeep Grand Cherokee. And while it's theoretically possible to seat 7, it's at its best in 5-seat configuration to make the most of the huge boot space on offer. Indeed, Top-Spec Ultimate is only available as the latter, which indicates the 6th and 7th seats are too cramped for anything more than short journeys. Older design but very tough. Unlike most modern cars, the Rexton sits on what's known as a ladder chassis, a high-strength steel frame, with the body attached via 8 rubber mounts. This means it's incredibly strong, able to tow huge loads up to 3.5 tons and capable off-road. It feels a little off the pace in terms of handling and ride quality. There's just one diesel engine on offer, though company bosses tell us there's a petrol under consideration for the UK market, and you can have either a 6-speed manual or 7-speed automatic gearbox. Simple, well-equipped trims. The trim structure starts at X, with aircon, an 8.0-inch touchscreen, parking sensors, automatic lights and wipers, cruise control and a suite of safety systems included. Moving up to ELX nets you a much nicer 9.2-inch multimedia screen and Nappa leather upholstery along with heated and powered front seats. However, the lion's share of sales are likely to be Top-Spec Ultimate, which offers a very impressive spread of kit including a powered tailgate, quilted leather seats, mood lighting and a 360-degree parking camera. You can learn more about the equipment on offer by scrolling to the equipment section of this review. On face value, the Rexton looks like a good value proposition, but this is countered by the firm's inability to offer the sorts of financial incentives its rivals can, meaning leasing costs will be higher. However, fixed price servicing and a limitless mileage warranty go some way to making up for this fact. The verdict: there's no doubting the Rexton has some serious capability. The only question is whether many buyers need that ahead of reasonable finance and lower running costs. Read on for the full SsangYong Rexton review. Could this be your next 4x4? Diesel-only lineup. Choice of manual and auto gearbox is particularly good at towing. There's just one engine on offer here, a SsangYong built 2.2-liter turbodiesel that comes with a 6-speed manual gearbox as standard or an optional but standard on top Ultimate trim Mercedes-Benz sourced 7-speed automatic. The motor generates the same output in both cases, -181 horsepower and 420 Nm between 1,600 to 600 revolutions per minute, its top speed of 115 miles per hour and 062 miles per hour taking 11 seconds. So far we've had the chance to test the automatic version only, and found that for normal driving it's very good. The engine picks up well and revs freely for a diesel. But if you ask too much of it then it becomes noisy and the gearbox struggles to change gears quickly enough. It's an old design of box compared to many rivals now. Perhaps more pertinently, the braked towing capacity of the Rexton is an unusually high 3,500 kilograms, or 3.5 tons, which puts on it par, if not ahead, of all rivals. Car firms aren't allowed to go higher for private vehicles. Lots of body roll heavy, slow steering impressive off-road. The Rexton is a large SUV, and handles exactly as you'd expect one to, albeit perhaps a little more agriculturally than we'd prefer. Its steering is slow and heavy, which can make maneuvering a chore, and the body rolls overly when faced with a tight bend at more than slow speeds. This is a heavy car that rewards considered driving inputs. However, we were extremely impressed with how it dealt with off-road situations. Its slow overhangs at both ends coupled with all-wheel drive capability activated via rotary switch behind the gear lever mean it feels as though it'll tackle all but the toughest terrains. We've tried it on a relatively mild course and it didn't miss a beat. Vastly improved design, much better materials, easy to find, good driving position compared to the previous Rexton. There has been a dramatic improvement in the cabin, almost to the point that you wonder whether it was designed by a different company. SsangYong really has moved the game on in this respect. It's not perfect, with some poorer quality plastics used for some switchgear, but the layout is simple, albeit with too many buttons for our liking. We found the 9.2-inch multimedia screen, which is standard on mid-spec ELX models and above, very responsive to touch inputs. We've yet to give it a proper test in the UK, however, our test car was fitted with Korean spec software. Expect TomTom mapping over here. The driving position is very high, which will appeal to many SUV buyers, and the steering wheel adjusts for reach and rake so it's easy to find a good driving position. During our first test the top spec seats were highly adjustable too. We weren't as keen on a manual gear selection, though. It's via thumb switch on the lever rather than paddles, and as such it's a cumbersome solution. A smart new 7.0-inch TFT LCD display also on ELX and above sits behind the steering wheel to display digital speedometer and rev counters along with trip computer, driver assistance and navigation instructions where required. Excellent seats, well-insulated cabin. Ride can be bumpy. We found the SsangYong Rexton to be a comfortable car in most situations. The front seats are worthy of special mention. They have lots of adjustment and support you well without pinching. The bolstering is soft and they absorb some imperfections in the road that would otherwise jar. Cabin insulation is good too, with minimal road or wind noise intruding during our initial assessment in Korea. The diesel engine can become a little noisy if you work it too hard, though. Our only big issue here has to do with the design of the Rexton. Its older-style body-on-frame arrangement, where the chassis of the car is separate from the shell and connected by 8 rubber mounts, means the ride can be choppy in some situations because any jolts cause the two parts to move independently. This means the car doesn't ride as smoothly as more modern designs. There's no adaptive suspension on offer either, so there's less flexibility as in some rival cars, and we've yet to try a car with the manual gearbox that has a slightly less sophisticated rear suspension arrangement, so potentially could be bumpier still. Well-appointed trim levels, tech on par with rivals, not many optional extras. There's a huge range of kit on the Rexton, primarily because the company doesn't do a huge amount of optional extras, and it's split over 3 trim levels, X, ELX and Ultimate. There's a load of safety and driver assistance features too, but we've covered these in the safety section below. Standard SsangYong Rexton equipment base spec X cars come remarkably well appointed. These versions have 7 seats, the option of the Mercedes-sourced 7-speed automatic gearbox, 17-inch alloy wheels and an audio system with an 8.0-inch screen. Moving up to ELX offers the option of 5 seats for a far larger boot, 18-inch alloys, dual-zone climate control, a larger instrument cluster, TomTom Sadnov with a 9.2-inch touchscreen, heated steering wheel, Nappa leather upholstery, heated and powered front seats and an electrochromatic rear view mirror. Then at top spec Ultimate you get the automatic gearbox as standard, 5 seats only, 20-inch alloys, HID headlights, mood lighting, quilted Nappa leather upholstery, heated and ventilated memory front seats and a powered tailgate. Optional extras. SsangYong Rexton. Apart from metallic paint, the optional extras on offer are dealer-fit items such as tow bars and side steps. Lots of safety kits, slow parking camera, no adaptive cruise. The SsangYong Rexton has a good array of standard safety and driver assistance kit on board, with more available as you climb the 3 rungs of the trim ladder. The firm is expecting to score a solid 4 stars during forthcoming Euro NCAP crash testing. Standard SsangYong Rexton safety equipment. All cars get the following: airbags, driver, passenger, curtain and side escape system including hill descent control, hill start assist, active rollover protection, autonomous emergency braking, forward collision warning, lane departure warning, traffic sign recognition, lane change assist, tire pressure monitoring system, cruise control, automatic lights and wipers, keyless entry, acoustic parking sensors. Moving up to ELX then nets you side airbags for rear passengers, driver's knee airbag, rear view camera. At top spec Ultimate you can expect blind spot assist, rear cross traffic alert, tinted rear windows, around view parking camera. All of the equipment we've tested so far works well except the reversing camera, which on initial test in Korea had a delay that meant in reality we were far closer to the object behind the car than it looked on the screen. The acoustic parking sensors work perfectly, But if you're someone who mainly relies on the screen, you may have a few bumps before you get used to it. Adaptive Cruise Control and Lane Keeping Assist are conspicuous by their absence here too, which seems a little out of kilter with the otherwise comprehensive suite of safety systems on the Rexton. 7 seats available on some models at its best as a 5-seater, the parking made easier with tech, while 7 seats is available on base spec X cars. It's optional on ELX and unavailable on Ultimate models. That tells you all you need to know about the Rexton's ability to carry more than 5. It's for short distances only. This is a car at its best with 5 seats and a large boot area. If you need to carry more, investigate the SsangYong Turismo instead. This is a large, tall car and as such isn't the easiest to park. However, the front and rear parking sensors do a lot to help here. And there's a 360-degree bird's-eye view display on top-spec models that makes life easier still, although we found this had a delay which could cause problems. Drivers have good visibility all around the car too, and the front end has a relatively short overhang. In 5-seat mode, the Rexton is very practical indeed, because those cars get grocery hooks in the boot for your shopping bags along with loads of space and the option of a powered tailgate on Ultimate models. We've yet to assess a 7-seat car, but SsangYong's spokespeople themselves state it's only really suitable for short journeys.